Hello everyone, and welcome to the next installment of Am I the Asshole? If you're a fan of hearing Reddit tales, it would really support the channel if you could give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive into our first story. Am I the asshole for telling my sister he's just a kid isn't an excuse for a 13-year-old? My 20 sister, L, 36 female, has a 13-year-old son, my nephew, Tyler. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. To get the picture, it was me, Elle, our other sister, our aunt and uncle, and our 3 cousins. The middle one of the 3 cousins, Grace, 32 female, has a daughter, Brooklyn, 12 female. Tyler and Brooklyn were the only kids there. Brooklyn recently broke her ankle and needs crutches for a few weeks. The kids were mostly in the living room, whereas everyone else was in the kitchen dining room. I didn't think to check on them much because I thought 13 and 12 were old enough to know not to do something super dangerous like break a window. Besides, the living room is pretty close to the kitchen. We heard something crash down the stairs, followed immediately by shouting. Everyone's first instinct was the rush into the room, and so we did. We saw Tyler and Brooklyn wrestling over one of the crutches on the couch. Well, Brooklyn was sitting on the couch, and Tyler was standing behind the couch. If you can picture it, Brooklyn ended up falling backwards off the couch, and she started crying. Turns out, Tyler had thrown one of the crutches down the stairs into the basement and was trying to also get the other one thrown downstairs. After we made sure Brooklyn was not seriously hurt, she ended up being fine. Grace started asking Tyler things like, "What were you thinking? Why would you do that? What's the matter with you?" I wouldn't call it yelling, but her voice was definitely raised. A few other people joined her, and Elle immediately jumped in front of them like a soldier, saying, "No one is hurt, and he's just a kid." I thought that was ridiculous because, 1, although Brooklyn ended up being all right, she could have been hurt, and 2, a 13-year-old? Really? A kid? That's a teenager who should know better. So I told her so. Just a kid is something used for kids aged 11 and below. After that, it's not an excuse. Elle thought everyone overreacted, and she was pissed, especially at me. My God, really? And for anyone asking, I don't know why Tyler did that. Really, I don't. Maybe he thought it'd be funny or something. But since Elle is so pissed off, I'm wondering if maybe that was a line not to be crossed. Or maybe I'm overthinking because of what the fuck. Well, hell nah, not the asshole. Just a kid is used when a 4-year-old smeared PB&J all over his body to know how sandwiches feel. Not when a teenager is purposely trying to harm an injured person. And I know why Tyler did that. Because his mom is an enabler who will not make him face the consequences of his actions. He probably knows his mom will come to the rescue and dismiss his misbehavior. To know how sandwiches feel is a top-tier line and definitely something a 4-year-old would do. I don't know that just a kid has an absolute age limit, but for something like this, taking away a mobility aid, 6-year-olds would know not to do this. Maybe he was trying to be funny, and if so, he should get a very clear message about how not funny it way. Maybe he's a bully. I don't know, but mom trying to protect him from the consequences of his actions does him no favors. The fact that everyone thought Tyler was being a little jerk should tell Elle something, but she seems motivated not to hear it. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Did your nephew explain why he did what he did? Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids after she criticized how I discipline my own children? I, 32 female, have 2 kids ages 5 and 7, and my sister, 34 female, has 3 kids ages 3, 6, and 8. We've always been close, and I often babysit her children when she and her husband need a break. Last weekend, my sister dropped her kids off at my house for a few hours, which is something we've done countless times before. While I was watching all 5 kids, my 7-year-old started acting up, so I put them in timeout. My sister came back earlier than expected and saw this. She immediately pulled me aside and said she doesn't believe in timeouts and that I was being too harsh on my child. She then went on to give me an unsolicited lecture on how I should handle discipline, saying I should use gentle parenting instead. I was taken aback because I've never criticized her parenting methods, even though I don't always agree with them. After she left, I felt really upset. The next day, she asked if I could watch her kids again this weekend, and I said no. I told her that if she doesn't trust my judgment with my own kids, I don't feel comfortable being responsible for hers. She got really upset and accused me of overreacting. Now, she's not speaking to me, and my parents think I should just let it go for the sake of family harmony. But I can't shake the feeling that she crossed a line. So am I the asshole for refusing to babysit after she criticized my parenting? Not the asshole. Your sister laid out her perspective in child rearing by criticizing you, as she did about how you discipline your kids. She was way out of line, since nothing was abusive to your children. Quite the opposite. Funny how, though, your reaction to her meddling, is overreacting, went totally out the window as soon as she needed her kids watched again. Yeah, she crossed the line when she talked to OP like that, and then she has the nerve to ask her to babysit? She should be at least apologizing to OP before asking. The overreacting card is just a way of making herself feel better and to downplay her actions instead of admitting she was rude to OP. If your parents are so concerned about family harmony, tell you sister that they have volunteered to babysit for her. Family helps family, right? Not the asshole. Your family is asking you just take a beating and accept your sister's superiority. She can hire a babysitter and teach the babysitter how to babysit her children and see how many babysitters she goes through. I would just like to point out the irony that she is the one who is criticizing your parenting, but also the one who needs constant breaks from her children. Maybe if she tried giving her kids timeouts, she wouldn't need breaks from them. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.